of TV23's Internet provided by SWKO Wireless Internet. Covering the High Plains with news, weather, and information. From TV23 Studios in Sublet, this is High Plains Today.
Hi, everybody. It's Thursday, November 19th, 2015. Welcome to High Plains Today on TV23. On today's show, I'll be joined by Steve Dyer. He is the president of the Garden City Area Chamber of Commerce. Man, I think they had to buy more ribbon. They've had so many ribbon cuttings in Garden City. Hey, did you feel the earthquake last night, too, by the way? Or I guess it was this morning, about 1:45. 4.7 on the Richter scale is about 8 miles south-southwest of Cherokee, Oklahoma. I felt it. I went, huh, then rolled over and went back to sleep. Hey, let's take a look at some happenings out there today. Wheatland Electric Cooperative issued a warning Wednesday about a scam targeting its customers. Now, scammers call or email Wheatland's members telling them their electric bill is past due, and unless they pay right away, their electricity will be disconnected. Now, they often ask the member for a credit card number or instruct the member to immediately purchase a prepaid card, such as MoneyPack, and send the number to the caller. Now, the calls or emails are often difficult to detect prior to answering the call or opening the email because the scammers make Wheatland's name appear in the caller ID or in the email address. If you get one of those, hang up and call Wheatland. They don't do that kind of stuff. Well, voters on Tuesday rejected a request from Holcomb Public Schools to help pay for a $14.5 million construction project that would have affected all the district's buildings. The $13 million bond issue failed by a 187 to 105 vote. The other $1.5 million would have come out of the district's capital outlay fund. Of the 1,472 voters registered at the time of the election, only 292, or roughly 20%, voted. Now, the proposal would have installed secured entrances and new security cameras in all buildings in the district and a new activity center at Holcomb High School with a $2.5 million 2,000-seat gymnasium, a $1.4 million indoor track, $1.9 million in locker rooms, and $1.7 million in restrooms and concessions area. For the first time, the Dodge City Community College Electrical and Power Transmission Program welcomes a female student. Dodge City native 19-year-old Vanessa Ybarra said she chose to enter the program because she saw an opportunity to be challenged. Now, in the program, students learn the basics of electricity, climbing, and building power lines. In the first semester, they learn how to climb 40 and 80-foot poles with a fall arrest belt and how to set those poles in the ground. Certificates are earned in 1 year and an associate's degree in 2 years. And the former ConAgra meatpacking plant soon will belong to the city of Garden City. On Tuesday, city commissioners approved a purchase agreement with JBS Swift to purchase the property for $2.4 million. Now, the property, 336 acres of land on the east side of the city, will be part of the site of a future transload shipping center. In September, KDOT selected Garden City and Great Bend to be sites for transload shipping centers, which would load and unload cargo between rail cars and trucks. The facility will be located on approximately 900 acres of land at the U.S. Highway 50 Industrial Park. Now, the Finney County Economic Development Corporation and the city plan to develop the Garden City Distribution Park on the site of the former meatpacking plant, which has been vacant since it burned in 2000. The Tyrone, Oklahoma Fire Department will be hosting a fundraiser luncheon this Sunday at the Tyrone School Cafeteria. A total of 100% of the proceeds of this luncheon will go to the Valdez Castro family to assist with medical and travel expenses. Now, 7 children were involved in a one-vehicle rollover on Monday after school. 5 of the children suffered major injury and 2 were flown to Wichita on Tuesday morning. All are currently in stable condition. A Chilean stew will be served starting at noon on Sunday and continue until it's gone. And today is the American Cancer Society's Great American Smokeout. And it is to encourage everyone to quit tobacco use. About 42 million Americans still smoke cigarettes, and tobacco use remains the single largest preventable cause of disease and premature death in the United States, according to the American Cancer Society website. As of 2013, there was also 12.4 million cigar smokers in the U.S. and more than 2.3 million who smoke tobacco in pipes, other dangerous and addictive forms of tobacco. And that's a look at some of the happenings out there. Stick around. Be back with somewhat of a cool forecast that's going to be rolling in here tomorrow night.
You're watching High Plains Today on TV23 with host Chris Jewell. TV23's internet service and 4G live streaming provided by United Wireless. Coverage you deserve. Service you expect. United Wireless.
Hi, Chris Jewell, host of High Plains Today, a 30-minute news and information program that airs weekdays at noon right here on TV23. We talk about news, we talk about sports, we talk about weather, we're even going to talk entertainment. We'll have live guests right here on set with me. So, every day at noon, tune in, High Plains Today. We'll see you then.
Weekdays here on TV23.
You want to feel connected, at one with your world. Informed, included, and inspired. So no matter where you are, when important things happen, we're here at all hours, in the moment, on every screen in your life. Your local TV and radio broadcasters. We investigate and inform, give back to the community, build the local economy, even save lives. America's #1 source for news, weather, and information. And unlike any other news source, we're here, 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 and here. We are broadcasters, always here for you, wherever here may be. Text TV to 52886. Tell Washington local stations matter.
Lead paint poisoning affects 1 million children today. If you're pregnant or have young children and your home was built before 1978, you could be at risk. Learn how to protect your family. To find your home's danger zones, the health effects, or just to find help, log on to leadfreekids.org.
Now, the local weather forecast for the High Plains.
You know, it looks like a nice day. We got a few scattered high clouds way out there as we look off to the northeast on the TV23 tower cam. Taking a look at, no, that's not right. This clicker is going to get thrown against the wall. So, because it screwed me over 2 days in a row. But anyway, Brian's working on our weather. We're going to look and see what our current reading. There we go. Temperature right now at the station is 44 degrees. Relative humidity 44%. Winds are out of the south at only 6 miles an hour. Barometric pressure holding steady. Looking at our current temperatures, everybody pretty much in the entire viewing area in the 40s. It's going to shape up to be not a bad day. And you can tell it is a dry bugger out there today. Look at those dew points. Everybody is way, way low. Looking at the winds, there's not much wind out there. Pretty much the highest wind in the area is out at Lamar, 14 out of the south-southeast. Everybody out of the south-southeast or south-southwest. Winds are just kind of all over everywhere today. Looking at our precipitation, we'll look at the precipitation. There was a trace yesterday at the regional airport. In Garden City, our high yesterday is 59 degrees. I didn't know it got that warm, but I guess it did. Record of 78 back in 07. The low last night, 28 degrees, 8 back in 2014. There we go. Now, today it's going to be 51 degrees, going to be pretty pleasant out there. Winds are going to be out of the south at 13. Then tonight, 31 degrees. Winds are going to be out of the south-southeast at 14 tomorrow. A wonderful 59. Winds are going to be out of the south-southeast at 21. Later in the afternoon, going to switch around to the north-northwest. That means one thing, 21 degrees for the low tomorrow night. Now, there is a chance of scattered sprinkles out and about. Let me get out of the way because here's this other word. Flurries after midnight as the temperature drops down to 21. Winds are going to be out of the north at 29. Looking at the 7-day, Not bad. 38 on Saturday. That's going to be the rough, coldest day of the 7 days coming up. Otherwise, we're starting to build up pretty nice temperatures coming into the holiday on next Thursday. That's a look at the weather. Be back with the markets and Steve Dyer after this. Hi, I'm Chris Jewell, host of High Plains Today, a 30-minute news and information program that airs at noon weekdays right here on TV23. Hey, do you think you have an idea for something that would make a great segment? Somebody that would make a great interview? What about a community event that needs highlighting? Let us know here at the station. Email us news@kdgltv.com.
Are you tired of worrying about going over your cell phone data cap? Tired of surprise bills and text messages asking for more money? Stop the insanity. Switch to unlimited nationwide data from United Wireless. Switching is easy. Come in today and see for yourself. For a limited time, get free activation, up to $200 per line bill credit, and save on the latest smartphones. See how much you can save with unlimited nationwide data from United Wireless. See store for details.
Lead paint poisoning affects 1 million children today. If you're pregnant or have young children and your home was built before 1978, you could be at risk. Learn how to protect your family. To find your home's danger zones, the health effects, or just to find help, log on to leadfreekids.org.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who do something, the people who take action, are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making home affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
I think someone at my friend's school has this thing called autism. My friend's brother's son has autism. My neighbor's son has autism. My son has autism.
Autism is getting closer to home. Today, 1 in 110 children is diagnosed with autism. That's a 600% increase in the last 20 years. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/sign.
And welcome back. There he is, Steve Dyer, President, Garden City Area Chamber of Commerce. How are you today, my friend?
I'm doing great. How are you?
You've been busy.
We've been really busy.
You have been busy. You told me when you came in today you had to buy, I said, so had you run out of ribbon yet for all the ribbon cutting, Jay? I had to buy more.
Yeah, we did.
That's a good problem to have.
And in fact, for the college, you know, they're brown and gold, so we had brown ribbon for their 2 ribbon cuttings.
Ooh, good call.
Yeah,
good call.
Yeah. So it worked out well.
So what did the college do? You were telling me earlier.
Yeah, that's fine. They have a welding program, and they have a new facility there. They opened up, and so state-of-the-art welding facility. So great area. You know, the business community said we need more welders, and the college goes, okay, we'll get them trained. So it worked out well. And then they also added a huge complex of, it's really apartments actually. It's not dorm rooms. It's an apartment complex that they opened up as well, because they're one of the few community colleges that are growing and adding students. And so we did 2 ribbon cuttings at one time. The governor was there and about 150 people. So it was a good event. So they actually opened up their own apartment complex for the college. That's correct. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, and I don't know how many rooms. Now that's something you don't hear every day. No. They purchased some property and built the complex, and they're like units of 4 or 6, I think, kind of scattered out, and it has a little area in the middle. And they built them themselves? No, they had people contract build it, but yeah, it's their, it's like dorm rooms, but just apartment areas. So yeah, worked out great. Slick deal for them. Yeah, and that was one of our 4 ribbon cutting groundbreakings of that day. In one day. One day, yeah. We had 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So the marketplace at Walmart was the last one of the day. We did the water park, the Parrot Cove Water Park, indoor water park at 3, college at 4. And I'm forgetting one. Was it food? Did it have to do with food? Probably food. Probably food. But I cannot remember at this second. But well, you had the governor out for the college and the water park, though, didn't you? Yeah, he was out for those. And actually, the governor's plane was out 4 days of that week. He was out for 2 of them. The Secretary of Transportation, King, was out for 1 of them, which we held an evening meeting with him to talk about how we are growing and we need more money put into transportation. And he was very responsive to our comments. You know, it was an evening dinner, invited a lot of businesses that use transportation a lot. You know, our beef packing Tyson was there, TP&L that does all the wind turbine transportation. They use rail and road, and then some airline people were there, city, county, myself, economic development. So just gave them a good sampling of what we're doing, what's working, where we need help, and he brought some of his folks out. So it was a really good conversation, and he's doing his best to his coffers are being raided. Seems like every year. He's the head cashier of the bank of KDOT, isn't he? And he's so nice about it too. You know, he just says, well, we do what we can, and we're team players, and you never hear him complain about anything. So he does a great job. And the big thing that you hear is in the area, between Garden City, Dodge City, Liberal, and all the little towns, everybody always says, well, why can't we be like Garden City? You have a ton of things going on. The economic development people have a ton of things going on, with the new rail thing that's coming in, and the dry milk plant, and all those types of things that are coming in. I mean, what do you guys owe the success that is going on in Garden City? What do you owe it to? Yeah, I think, and it's funny, we're asked that a lot, whenever I go anywhere else in the state, conferences or whatever, and the question is asked a lot. In fact, when we sit down with Pat Roberts for luncheon, he didn't ask, but one of his staff members did, and what I attribute it to is 2 things. One is the community as a whole works well together, and when it gets down to really getting into business, everybody's pulling the rope in the same direction, and that includes city, county, business community, chamber, economic development, school district, college. I mean, everybody's at the table and everybody's pulling the same way. And And the other thing is that I think over the years we've been willing to reinvest in the community, and that can be with tax incentives. It can be, you know, with connecting venture capitalists with businesses. We're always open for new and different ways to support business and bring business in the community. And some communities aren't willing to take that risk and invest in those types of things. And it is a little bit of a risk. You know, you can extend yourself too much, but we feel like we've got a good balance.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, I mean, that is the first thing that usually comes up is people say, oh, you gave them,
Yes.
them the farm
Right.
on this deal to get them to come to town. I
Yes.
mean, how can you do that?
Yeah.
That seems to be the biggest thing when you talk to these other communities, that they're not going to do that. But it seems like Garden City has proved that theory seems to work.
Yeah, and it is, but it's a balance, and you know, you have to be careful, and I feel like our city and our county do a really good job of making sure that balance is there, and you can't overextend yourself and have too much tax going back in, and you know, then you don't have your taxes you need for the local services and the police and fire and local streets and all that. So, but it's been a process over the last 20 plus years. You know, I grew up in Garden City, and I've been with the chamber since '97 with a little bit of a stint in Colorado. So I've seen a lot of that go on, and it's not by accident. It's on purpose, but it's very well planned. You know, the comprehensive plan of the city is very well spelled out, and it involves all the different stakeholders. So it's not an accident. There's been a little bit of luck involved, but a lot of hard work, and so definitely a team effort.
You know, and people will look at it because you talk, you know, over 20 some years, you know, back then you looked at Garden City, Dodge City, and Liberal, they were all pretty much equal.
Right.
And now, you know, Dodge City seems to have surged, or Dodge City, but Garden City seems to have pulled ahead of the other two. And, you know, it seems like the other two communities kind of hold a little animosity towards Garden City. I mean, am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah, well, I can tell you that the Chambers of Commerce of the Southwest, it's the Southwest Kansas Chambers of Commerce. We have a regional organization that meets monthly, and we are all supporting each other. And I can tell you, there's a lot of good things going on in Dodge and Liberal. I think overall, you know, we're seeing a big influx, especially with the milk plant and the transload facility. Those are going to be two huge anchors for us. You know, from an economic development standpoint, but you know, we're working together. The Chambers of Commerce are working together. We do a couple of regional events, mainly legislative focused, but we're looking to do more things as well. So, you know, Liberal, I think they're adding 5 or 7 schools, or adding 5 and remodeling
5 new buildings. Yeah, they are.
You know, and there's a lot of things going on in Dodge as well. So as we grow as a Western Kansas, you know, all boats rise. That type of a saying. So we're a little more fortunate right now, but I have a feeling that the other communities are going to start catching up to us.
Yeah, and I don't want to say that there's nothing happening in Dodge and Liberal, but it just seems, you know, you guys have Schulman's Crossing that has just grown by leaps and bounds. So we got about 15, 20 seconds left. You got anything now? You guys are doing a really good job. But you got anything huge coming up that you can sneak us a peek at?
Well, I don't know necessarily huge coming up. I can tell you. So a program I'm very proud of that we've done at the Chamber for 20 years, and the event's actually tonight. We recognize our teachers once a year. It's called the Crystal Apple Program, and we'll recognize 6 teachers tonight. 3 of those will be Crystal Apple teachers. The other 3 are part of the 6 finalists. It's our 20 year of doing it. We've invited, so we do 3 Crystal Apple teachers a year. That's 20 years. That's a lot of teachers.
That's a lot of Crystal Apples.
So that's tonight. It's a great program. Some of the kids come out. The family are there. You know, the principals are there, and it's a real proud moment. I mean, they prepare our workforce for the future, so that's why we support.
They do. Yes. Good for you guys.
Thank you,
Steve. Thanks for coming by today.
Thanks for having me.
It's interesting to talk to you because you got a ton of stuff going on all the time.
You bet.
All right. Stay busy.
All right. Thanks,
you, Steve. And stick around. We'll be back with a little bit of sports after this.
You want to feel connected, at one with your world, informed, included, and inspired. So no matter where you are, when important things happen, we're here at all hours, in the moment, on every screen in your life. Your local TV and radio broadcasters. We investigate and inform, give back to the community, build the local economy, even save lives. America's #1 source for news, weather, and information. And unlike any other news source, we're here. 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 And here. We are broadcasters, always here for you, wherever here may be. Text TV to 52886. Tell Washington local stations matter.
It's not his new group of friends. It's not the video games. It's not the neighborhood.
Mom, do I have to go to school today?
The biggest threat to your child's future could be you. Every day they miss, even in middle school, puts their graduation at risk.
Something I feel when I'm right here. Something that tells me that I'm This is the place. Everybody here knows it. This is the place. Oh, it's home to me and you. Yeah, this is the place.
And welcome back. Hey, Fort Hays State University earned the right to play in the 2015 Mineral Water Bowl. Now, this is the 50th year it will be played. They upset nationally ranked number 20 University of Central Missouri 28-14 last Saturday. Now, the Tigers were invited to the Mineral Water Bowl, where they will meet the University of Minnesota Duluth at noon December 5th in Excelsior Springs. Excelsior Springs. Good for you, Tigers. And when the Holcomb Longhorns made the nearly 200-mile trip to Andale for the Class 4A 2014 state semifinal game last year, they knew they were in for a daunting task against the powerhouse Indians. A year ago, the Indians were nothing short of a steamroller locomotive rolling through opponents like a knife slicing through butter. Now, on Friday night, the same two teams will once again battle for the Western Kansas representative spot in next weekend's championship game in Salina. Columbus and Holton are vying for the eastern side's entry, so there you go. It's going to be chippy tomorrow night in Holcomb. Let's take one last look at our weather before we get out of here on this Thursday. Temperature 44 degrees, relative humidity 45%. Winds are still out of the south-southwest at only 6 miles an hour. Pretty pleasant out there, really. Looking at it tomorrow night, we do have a chance of scattered showers and flurries after midnight. It is going to cool down, and you might want to take a coat for sure to the game in Holcomb. Other than that, go out and make it a great Thursday, everybody. You want to see us, call your cable operator. We'll see you tomorrow on Friday.
Keep up to date with the latest information from TV23 on our Facebook page, KDGLTV.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
I did. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that strollers have the right of way on the sidewalk?
Yes.
Yep, I did. Did you guys
Did you know that kids who eat breakfast have higher GPAs?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That's actually what I was going to say.
Did you know babies should never touch silver? It's really bad for them.
I knew that.
Did you guys know that statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected.
I'm putting that on my blog.
I just put it in mine.
You realize that 49 million Americans struggle with hunger? That's 1 out of every 6 Americans. These people are around us every day. They're our friends, they're our coworkers, their kids go to school with our kids. Sometimes we're not even aware that they're struggling. This problem is closer than you think. But so is the solution.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Something I feel